Good morning everybody, welcome to another video. Well, the cold morning this morning, the weather has turned, weather's gone cold. I've got all my thermals on, properly wrapped up down the Wygan, as you can probably see over my shoulder. A mate of mine called Tony down there. We've come to do, well, a bit of barbel fishing really, but I think it might be hard going today. It's just dawn, it's 7:15, something like that. Sun is going to come up very shortly, but yeah, we've come out more in hope than expectation really. The water temperature's dropping, it could be very, very tricky going. But hopefully we'll have a few barbel and some chub out. That's the plan anyway. It's going to be a roving session. We're going to rove the stretch, do lots of swims. I think it's going to be a case of finding fish. They're not going to find us today. I've not done the water temperature yet, but we've had some frosty nights this week, certainly 2 where I live, so it's going to be hard going. So fingers crossed we can do some. Anyway, we'll get down here and have a go. So guys, to run you through the barbel gear, I've got my 12-foot 2¼ pound barbel tamer, free spirit. Yeah, it's the river's dropping. It's on the verge of perhaps being able to use a 2 or a 175, but I've gone with a 2¼ because it's quite soft and sort of through action. These rods are nice. Got my Dower GSBR LT 5000 reel on there. Got my standard barbel running ledger rigs that I use, which I'll stick a link to a video up there. You can go and have a look at these. How I tie these up. They're very adjustable, as you can see. Can adjust the effective length of the hook link. Work really well when you want to be playing around with stuff like today. It could be quite tricky. I've got my standard barbel hook links on here that I like to use with a paste wrap boilie on there. Again, I'll link you into a video up there. You can go and have a look how I tie these up as well. Bait wise, I've got some Dynamite Big River shrimp and krill ground bait. Now my go-to bait is the Dynamite Hot Fish and GLM boilies, which I've got on here with matching paste. Make some paste up because there's no paste in the range. You have to make your own. Again, another video up there. So go and have a look how I make the paste up. But with the water being cold, I'm not sure this is going to be the best approach. So bought some of the baits as well. I've got some luncheon meat, of course. I've also bought a few pints of maggots. Got about 2.5 pints with me, and I've got another couple of pints in the car in a cool box. So if this is not working, the ground bait method is not working, may well go on the maggots and try them. We'll just have to suck it and see. Right, I'm going to flit about, I think, today. Keep getting ground bait in, getting bait in a few spots, and keep flitting between them and see how we get on. Getting a nice drop there. So guys, change of swim. Come on to a croy that's partially submerged. But I'm quite surprised at the colour, to be honest, in here. I've been here with more water on than this, as you've probably seen in previous videos, and it's been a lot more coloured than this. That's 18 inches of visibility, I'd say. It's not going to do us any favour with the barbel, but it's going to be a hard barbel day. As you can see, it's 5.3 degrees air temperature. Let's do the water, see what we get. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised. It's 9.4, which is not a bad temperature at all. It's not great when it was 12 degrees a week and a half ago, but yeah, that's not a bad temperature. I was fearing it would be something like 8 or 7, but yeah, 9.4, it's not too bad at all. Right, let's get casting, shall we? The water's pushing through here, as you can see, so I'm going with a 4-ounce feeder. Exactly the same thing, paste wrap boilie. If we're struggling by this afternoon, I think we'll go on the maggots, but for now we'll stick with a smelly barbel baits. I have a lot of faith in this, especially now seeing the temperature's 9.4. I say it's dropping, so it's not ideal, but it's not too bad at all. Right, quite rocky in here, so I've got to be a bit careful. We'll flick it out over there. Getting that down. A little bow line out. I'm not holding a rod, so I'm going to put the bait runner on, I think. Just in case it tears off. We've got quite a tight line to the rod. Hopefully you can see the tip as and when we get a bite. Got no chair with me today, that's why I've got this old pair of waders on to sit on the floor, so I can't sit down in here. Well, I could, but it'd be pretty cold. Tony's in a swim just down from me, which is a swim we know always holds barbel. But they do tend to hang out on the far side of the river, and it's going to be very tricky to try and fish over there. I have to try and pull them in. We'll perhaps have a sort of share the swims when there's only one. Or perhaps have a go in there in a bit. I don't think I've run you through the water conditions. It's about a metre up on summer levels and dropping, which is not ideal, really. Rather we had a bit more water on, a bit more colour than this, to be honest. But it is what it is. I'm surprised at the amount of colour, or lack of colour, for this height as well. I've been to the Y with this height, this amount of water on in the past, and it's been much, much more coloured than this. It's about the worst day we could. Frosty night, clear river, clear sky. Oh dear, not ideal at all. And as I say, we haven't had so much as a chubby clang yet. Been at it probably best part of 3 hours. Yeah, perhaps not quite. 2.5 hours. I might give it this one more cast and then we'll perhaps have a move. It's not one for sitting around when there's nothing happening, and there's nothing happening here at all. Yeah, time for a move, I think. Oh, hello. I think we've got someone on. What we got? We've got a little chub. I can't believe it. I saw the rod tip tap a couple of times. This is the problem with not having holding the rod. I think we can pick him out of the water. He's only a little fella. Well, there he is. We haven't blanked. Just a little fella. Wonderful. Right, back you go. Oh God, another move. Back to the first swim we fished. We have a bit of a flit about until we hopefully can drop on some fish. Did bait up another swim as well further down the stretch, which we're going to have a go in, I think, in a minute. We're stopped here on the way past, so we'll give it perhaps half an hour in here and then think about going a bit further down if nothing's happening. Fortunately, with the sun being low in the sky, it's still off, not on this stretch, which is, well, this part of the water, I should say, which is definitely going to help. And any little help we get, it's going to be good. Today, I think God, my little got a cold again, and I'll give it me all bunged up again. I need to spend my entire life bouncing from one cold to the next. If it's not COVID, it's a cold. Yeah. You know what I mean? Feels very chubby. Desperately getting in the edge, trying to get in the edge. Yeah. He's managed it. I'm alright, I think, mate. Cheers. He's managed to secrete himself in the edge. I'll have to extract him. There he goes. He got himself out. Always find the snags that they chub. Got him. The little chublet. There we are. The fresh looking little chub. Fab. So guys, next up, swim that I know holds barbel, but on the look of the flow, I think it's probably going to need 4 ounces to hold it there, so I'll have to dig another feeder out. It's pushing through a bit. It's not particularly deep. This is a swim where some barbel tend to be resident. Certainly for the most of the year. Not that I do a lot of barbel fishing here in the colder weather, but certainly generally resident in here. Go with pace rat boiler. I've tried all sorts of things. Between myself and Tony, we've tried meat, maggots, boilies, pellets, everything. You name it, we've tried it. Hope that I can winkle a barbel out. It's looking increasingly unlikely though. It's early afternoon now. It's been hard going. Even the chubber really being evasive. I've had those 2 smallish ones. Tony's had a few knocks, but yeah, it's proper odd going. Well, that was Tony just ringing me to say he's just had a chub. Nice one, actually. So that's great. So he's off a blank, which is brilliant. Fantastic. So yes, hopefully I can get in here and winkle a barbel out. But who knows? Now, he's had that on. He's had on maggots. Been fishing maggots for a few minutes. Well, probably 20 minutes, half an hour now. He was getting some knocks. We did wonder if it's smaller fish. We did bring maggots because we thought perhaps it would be the way to go. Can be the way to go in these conditions. Certainly. So, might be worth bearing in mind. I've had a few goes on maggots and had the odd knock, but nothing major, shall we say. Nothing worth striking at. So, it's worth bearing in mind. It's certainly the biggest fish of the day. Certainly bigger than the couple that I had. So it might be worth a few casts in here. You know, I deliberately didn't bring my trotting gear today because I was 99% sure I wouldn't need it. But to be honest, I could have stood on that Croy and had a bit of a trot through. Would have been very enjoyable today. Because I've known this river lower than this and much more coloured than this, and it's colour's dropping out of it by the minute. Quite frustrating because I had a nice day's trotting today. I just thought it was going to be much more coloured. Every day's a school day. Well, nothing doing there. We had those few chubby knocks. Nothing came of it. So, yeah, time to move, I think. There we go. Oh, one guy's written. I think it's a chub on the feel of it. Although it is pulling back a bit. It does feel very chubby. It's trying to get in the tree. I think it probably is. It's lights on. This is a chub. That's a decent one. Cool, that's a chub. There you go, guys. Wonderful. Glad I stayed into dark now. Cracking chub. Great stuff. Did just for a second I thought it was a barbel. Wonderful stuff. Right, I think one more cast. See if we can winkle that elusive barbel out. But this chub's like a block of ice, so I wouldn't think we can. Well, guys, we can call it a day. Give it another 5 minutes, but curfew time is here. No more bites. Well, one little rattle, I think, maybe. But yeah, no barbel today, unfortunately, but not a massive surprise given the conditions. But caught some fish. Tony's had a couple of chub and I had a couple of little ones and that nice one to finish off with. So really good session in the end, but it's getting pretty cold now. So definitely time for home. And as I say, curfew time as well. It's got dark, as you can see. So definitely time for home. Now I'm planning on getting out in the week. The Avon is up. The tributaries are up, but they're going to be running off. So I'm hoping to get out in the next few days and perhaps catch some nice fine inland rivers, do a bit of trotting, perhaps some chub or a bit of a roving session, but we'll have to see exactly on the conditions. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed that. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Goodbye from the geese that are just flying over. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your wonderful support, and I'll see you all again very soon.